welcome to my podcast on real relationships. My name is Sophie Passon and I am a relationship expert, international speaker and best-selling author of a book, Your Other Half. I decided to start this podcast because, in my opinion, relationships are not currently being portrayed as what they really are. Whether you're watching the news, on social media, TV, the perception given to people is wrong. And my aim is to talk about what happens in the real world, talk about real stories, and listen to what real people think to or go through, as opposed to creating an expectation of something that doesn't actually exist. I may not agree with everything that is said by my guests, but it is their chance to express their opinions and their stories. And here today we have Mark Flanders, and we are going to talk about moving on after death. Hi, Mark.
Hiya, Sophie.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Good, thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, yes, of course. I'm 52. I'm widowed. I work as a security officer, which I've been doing since 2000, about 2000 actually. We obviously worked with you when we were in 2005 for 8 years, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. Yeah, something like that. And I have 3 grown-up children now. Lucy's the oldest, Ray and Kimberly, but I have 4 grandchildren as well, which I love dearly.
Mm-hmm. So just as you've mentioned it, for the record, because people might sometimes pick up on the fact that we do indeed know each other. I first met you in 2005 when I was back in a previous life recruiting for new blood, so to speak. And here you were, and then I recall many stories with you being on days at times and creeping up to like get takeaways and all sorts of stuff. So
you got it.
We obviously, as you work closely with people, you develop quite a close, relationship, and when you get on, close friendship. So this is why I wanted to interview you, because obviously I witnessed the journey of what happened. So first of all, could you tell us a little bit more? So what was your idea of love when you were a young lad?
Well, I didn't know what it was, to be honest, because I went to a boarding school, to a boys' one. So I found it very difficult to mix with girls.
Okay.
And the only time I really mixed with girls is when I started my second job, which was at Wimpy at the time. Mm-hmm. And that's the only time I was about 18, maybe 19. So yeah, it was difficult. So love, I didn't know what love was.
Okay. And so what was the relationship journey, so to speak? Did you have many girlfriends before you met Marion, or how did it happen?
No, I had no girlfriends really.
Fair enough.
But I met Marion, obviously, at Wimpy. She was going out with someone at the time, but I liked her a lot. And she finished with her partner, and I picked up the courage and invited myself out with her, on Friday, and never turned back. Mm-hmm. Obviously.
So can you tell us a bit more? Obviously, some people believe in marriage and some don't, but it was something that was important to you. So you obviously got married.
Yes, we did in 1991, May, at St. Mark's Church in Woolston. It was a great day. I wouldn't turn the clock back. That's one of the best days of my life. I've got to admit it. Mm-hmm. I wish she was here now, but nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
She made me happy. I made her happy. We had our ups and downs, which couples don't. Like I told you, we had 3 wonderful grandchildren. Children, sorry. And she saw one of her grandchildren, which was great. Mm-hmm. Which I'm pleased.
So tell us a bit more about what happened.
2011, Marion discovered she had a lump just under her breast. She didn't tell me at first. She went to the doctors, and they said it's just probably a lymph gland. Mm-hmm. But if it's still there in 2 months, come back. And Marion, she loved her job. She used to work at the cricket ground, and obviously around that time, cricket season starts, so she didn't go back. She didn't go back for 4 months. 4 months that was. which I find hard
Yeah.
because I think if she went back earlier, maybe she should be here.
But do you think sometimes it's also kind of denial, because if I don't go back, then, you know, there's nothing wrong with me, and not wanting to face up to the possibility of something being wrong?
It could be, but Marion was always happy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, always smiling, always happy, just never complained, you know, just got on with it. Even when she went for her tests, she didn't even tell me.
Mm.
I remember that night clearly. She went. I did wonder why she didn't ask me to take her to the hospital that day for test. She was just going for an inspect and test thing. She didn't tell me what. I was on nights. So yeah, I can remember all this so clearly. It's unbelievable. I was getting ready to go to work on a night shift, and she come back. And she goes, "I've got something to tell you." And that's what she told me. She'd been for tests, and the results were that she had breast cancer. Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. And obviously for you, a complete shock, because you didn't know there was
Yeah,
anything wrong, so to speak.
by that time we've been together, 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, married 21 years. Yeah, but been together about 20, 19 years. Yeah, so it was hard. But I don't know, life goes on. She had the courage to carry on, keep smiling. And so I had to do the same, you know,
Mm.
for her and the children,
And
you
obviously
know.
I recall that time, because to start off with, they believed that it was gone. And there
Exactly.
was a
She had,
little while where she was told she was clear.
yeah, she had the chemo. I mean, the hospital were brilliant. As soon as they told her what she had, treatment virtually started within weeks. You know, she had chemo for about 3-4 months just after Christmas. She in 2012 finished. Then we waited. Then she had radiation. No, she had an operation to take the glands out of her arm.
Mm-hmm.
That was that. That was the next thing. Then about May time. Yeah, it was May time because we went on holiday to Scotland because we asked them they could just hold it back a week or two, and they were quite good enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
She had chemo,
Yeah.
the radiation. Sorry, she had chemo first, then the radiation. Yeah, and then she seemed to get back on her feet, but you know, everything seemed to be all right for a while. Life was normal, you know. Marion was Marion, and yeah, but then she started having spells of falling down. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I only knew a couple of times. She may have fallen down more. She just kept it to herself. She went for tests again to see what was going on. And this is, you know, December the 19th, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
And just before Christmas as well.
yeah, remember it so well. Went to the hospital just to see what the consultant's going to say to her. And we sat down in the room. We weren't expecting this. This is how we weren't expecting it. We were looking after Isabel, our granddaughter, because Lucy was working. So she came with us. We sat in the room, we were talking about it. And you know when someone says something and you don't really think, did he really say that?
Yeah.
And that's what my reaction was about the cancer that had come back and it wasn't going to go away.
Mm.
And I just went, really? And I thought, did he really say that? And I was that shocked and upset. I was physically ill. I was sick. Yeah. I had to get out of the room and be sick. Yeah. And then because she was complaining about head hurting as well, you know. So they said, well, we'll get you scanned if you want to stay downstairs down in that million, which we did. Obviously, cried our eyes out because I couldn't believe it. Made a few phone calls. And yeah, and she had her scan, and yeah, they got the results through that same day. And then she had a the back of her neck. So yeah, so we carried on. You know, of course we were upset because you know, it's like you say, it's just before Christmas. We had to tell the children again. This time it wasn't going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked how long she had, and they said maybe 2 years, if that. You know.
Yeah.
So fair enough. So we started arranging things. We wanted to do our valves done.
Yeah,
And
I
on our
remember
25th, have a good do, you know, on the 25th of May. So we had it all planned. And, well, unfortunately, didn't get that far.
that. No.
Uh,
It wasn't even
February,
3 months, really, was it? Hardly
no.
that.
So I worked it out, it's about 10, 12 weeks, if that.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember this particularly as well. I was working a night shift again on Friday, get the dates right, 8th to the 9th. So, and the 9th is Kimberly's birthday, and the 10th is Isabel's birthday. Went to bed. I got woken up with my phone. Someone phoning me at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it was my brother, Steve, saying Marion's in hospital. She's had a nasty fall at Tesco's. So, okay, I went down, obviously, stayed with her all day. And I didn't expect anything then, you know, because she seemed just, you know, she was bruised and battered. And there's a couple of photographs, you've probably seen them on Facebook, when we've got a little one with us as well, playing with the phone while she's in bed. You know, and you just didn't think it, but cancer's a horrible thing.
Mm.
It really is. And it attacked her body so rapidly. It was unbelievable. You know, and the hospital, they couldn't give her the wards which we wanted at first, the cancer ward. So she was moved twice. It's one of those things. You know,
It happens, yeah.
they looked after her, and yeah, it was a hard time. And it's watching her rapidly going downhill was the hardest. You know, and the weekend before she died, you would have thought there was nothing wrong with her. To be honest with her, you know, she was sat up talking and chatting. You know, families and friends come and go, come and visit her. And I got told, I was taken out of the room, that she had long. And
I remember, I think it was the Monday I came to see her.
Yeah.
And you walked me back to the front of the hospital.
Yeah.
And then you walked back there. And within minutes, she was gone, wasn't she?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
March the 4th.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, the good thing was there was loads of family and friends there, as you know. Me and Lucy were in the room when she passed away. You know, she took her last breath. Yeah.
Which I suppose is important because you feel that you're there with the person. It's better. Well, I don't know what's better really, but you know, for you, it was probably important.
Yes, and it was, but you didn't know when she was going to go. And the only thing that was good that day, that Monday morning when she passed away, is that she had oxygen in the nose, and they asked could we take it off. And I was in two minds, but as you know, my sister-in-law Karen, she's a nurse. She said it doesn't make any difference. So I said, yeah, okay. So that was like around lunchtime, and then she passed away at 5 o'clock that evening. Yeah. So to me, I'm glad they took that oxygen away, because if that's the only thing that was keeping her alive,
there's no point.
There was no point, you know. So I was pleased, and she passed away peacefully, and she wasn't in any pain, you know. And I can still remember the last time we had a good conversation. And this is weird, really weird. It was the Friday before, or Saturday morning, early hours.
Yeah.
And she just sat up, and we just like talking like you and me.
Yeah.
For long, and she was thirsty. That was the last time she had her last proper drink, and she had milk. And I thought, milk? You never drink milk. But she did. She had hot milk and she drank it. You know, and that was the last time we ever spoke to each other properly.
And then afterwards, how did you feel? How did you manage to pull yourself through, so to speak?
It was hard, but I'm lucky. I've got loads of good friends, loads of family. They helped. But when you're on your own, that was the hardest. You know, going back to the house on your own, yeah, that was hard. And I didn't cope very well, to be honest. Between you, well, everyone's gonna know now, but I didn't cope very well. I know I didn't. you know. I hated everybody, not everybody, certain people, thinking, why aren't you, why aren't you dead? I'm not going to mention their names, but that's the way I felt, and I shut myself out doing things. I did try to do things later on, which was great, but to me, it wasn't the same because I was where you were going with couples, you were on your own.
Yeah.
And it was so hard, Sophie, honestly. I didn't expect to be on my own. I didn't expect bring the children up, especially Kimberly.
And so young, I mean, because she was only 45, wasn't she? So
45, you got it. Yeah, 45. Kimberly was 13. That's still, and I wasn't prepared because we didn't have a chance to say goodbye to each other really. Well, no, we didn't. Just didn't, because that's how rapidly she went downhill.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And so over time, I suppose you start to, you go through the normal grieving process of, as you say, being angry, shutting yourself out.
Yeah.
Then the sadness, the kind of depression that comes with it.
Yeah.
And then you start to, I don't know, I suppose, survive and accept when the person is no longer there.
Yes, you do. And you've got no choice. No matter how hard it is, you've got no choice. Life goes on. No matter how hard it is. And it was difficult. I'm not going to lie. I did my best. I don't think I was the best person to be around. Well, I know I wasn't. Was I a good father? I tried to be, but I don't think I was to Kim. I could have done better. But because I found it so hard, But I love my children to bits, and they know that.
Exactly.
And my grandchildren now, and I do, now, even now, and I think, I wish Mary could see the grandchildren. Because she's still got a Facebook page, and I put things on there now and again, like look at your children, how much they've grown up to be adults, things like that. And I still celebrate. Well, I don't like using the word celebrate. I still remember on our birthday, flowers, our anniversary. I still go down the church. It's not as much as I used to, but I still do. She's always going to be there.
Yeah, and I think what's important to remember as well, she actually lives through your kids and your grandkids. She's a part of them.
Yes, definitely. So and that's a good thing, and I can see that in through, especially Lucy and Kim. They look like their mum.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they do. But
so you then got to a point where I suppose starting meeting people. What was that like? Were you feeling guilty? Did you feel that actually? But is it something I want? Is it something I don't want? Not sure.
It was scary. Mm-hmm. It was scary, because I thought, and I did feel a bit guilty. Do I stay on my own? Do I move on? What would Marion want? And I know she would want me to move on. So, yeah.
So, when you decided to then move on, you are now, a single bloke with 3 kids. And obviously, because I know you and the relationship that you have with Marion, you were very, very, very close. So, everybody that you're going to meet, you're kind of going to compare to her, aren't you? Unconsciously, at least.
I suppose so, but I try not to, because everyone's different. You know what I mean? Everyone's completely different, and that being horrible, Marion was Marion, and everyone else themselves.
Yeah,
they all have their own opinions. They have their own little ways of doing. Perks. And that's fine. I'm not looking for someone, or was looking for someone as Marion, because it's not fair. It's not fair on the other person. I want them to be as themselves, and I have to fit in. I'm the one who has to change, which I can and which I have. And I don't expect anyone that I've gone out with, or I've only been out with 3 people, to be honest. And the one I'm with now, Lorraine, wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, she's completely different, and it's fine, and that's the way I like about her. And we get on really well.
And how did you find that dating process, apart from scary?
It was okay. It was. quite funny. See which women do they like you or not? You know, and I mean, I did talk to some, but you know, just talking. And like I said, I went on a few dates, and this one finally, we've been with each other just over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, many more. You know, and it's going really well.
Good.
Yeah.
And how do you find it? You know, because obviously, you know, you have her. Obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be with her.
Yeah.
And she also respects, I think, because from what I see, that you know, you still kind of love Marion.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite important.
In my own way, yeah. But I love Lorraine.
Yeah.
She knows that, you know. I love her, and she's understandable. You know, she's very understandable. She knows she won't stop me going down the church. She knows you can't forget the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I've got to move on.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to make new history, got to make new things, memories, which I'm going to, and we're going to.
Mm.
And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. You know, so.
And how are you finding being in a new relationship?
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. You know, I'm so happy. You know, couldn't ask for anyone better. You know, and like I said, I hope we have many more years together. And I'm sure she feels the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have our little bickers, but who don't?
Exactly
you know?
that, yeah.
You
So
know,
what would you say pulls you through now?
Pulls me through?
Yeah.
Lorraine pulls me through. My family pulls me through. And my children and grandchildren. They are so good. You know, they're so understandable. They've taken Lorraine in. They love her. You know, they get on well with her. And she likes them too. You know, she loves it too. So, yeah.
And reflecting back now, when you look back on your life, what is your idea of love now?
What is my ideal love?
Idea of love.
My idea.
Yeah.
Someone to care for, someone to love, someone to be there. You know, someone you can look after. And that's what I want to do with Lorraine. Not like I did with Marion.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that once you're with someone, you should be with them, you know, eternity. You know, obviously it doesn't always happen, as I found out, you know, with Marion. But, you know, I'm sure she's happy for me, 100%.
Definitely.
Life goes on. And I'm happy, you know.
And again, reflecting back, is there anything you would have done differently? Do you have any regrets?
No. It's what Marion did and what I did. We did it. We you know, we oh. Whew. Yeah. We had a great time.
Mm.
We had a great time. But that was those memories. You know, I wouldn't change it for the world. And I just want to make new memories now.
And if someone who's listening to this and currently going through the grieving process or having lost someone recently or even not so recently, but maybe struggling to come to terms with it, what would you say to them?
Be positive. Life is hard, yes. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's difficult. But at the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. You will be happy. You don't have to forget that life goes on. Just keep smiling, you know.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for sharing your story, because I know that it's obviously not easy. But at the same time, I feel that it's important for people who may be struggling to hear that, you know, it does get better, so to speak.
Yeah, it does. So definitely, you know, you don't have to forget your past, but more importantly, you still got to make new memories. You know, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, thank you so much. That is pretty much all we've got time for now. So thank you. And for everybody else, if you've enjoyed the show, then please subscribe, leave us a review, but more importantly, come back for the next episode. Thank you.